We've got some of our operators from up at our North Carolina operation coming down. We got people coming in from Salt Lake. We'll go through the entire S7 tomorrow for all three operations. And then we'll get our score from that appraisal that will lock and load for the next 6 months. So some of the leading safety indicators that we use to do what we do and to be safe is, first of all, we want to prevent any incidents. We don't want to get anybody hurt out there. It is a tremendously dangerous environment. Everybody's got to be thinking about what they're doing all day, every day, or you'll have something happen that you don't want to. We got our SHAPS system, and this is it on the side. So this is the full-blown model: identify hazards, analyze hazards, develop solutions, and implement solutions. So a lot of times what you hear within our operations, team members will go out to do work for that day, and somebody will say, "Did you SHAPS that?" And made easy, what am I about to do? How could I get hurt? And what am I going to do to prevent from getting hurt? Quick, it's easy. We take it home. I've literally walked by my wife in our front yard when she was just putting her foot on a shovel, and I looked down and she had flip-flops on, and I said, "Did you SHAPS that?" Put the shovel there, went to the house, put some socks and shoes on, and she went out and done her digging. But we use SHAPS at home. We do morning safety SHAPS meetings, so every morning all of our operations do a toolbox meeting. It's a quick one, it's anywhere between 5 and 15 minutes. We talk about safety, we talk about logistics, we commit, and we head out the door to do the work, but we want to make sure everybody's thinking about safety before they go out there. We have trained safety specialists on right now, 5. And so we'll invest a pretty good financial investment into team members that we see are stewards of safety. We'll send them to Salt Lake City for a 3-day course. So they'll fly out on Monday. They'll be there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, fly home. And this is just in-depth training of safety and how you can come back and put that into the operation and help your fellow peers be safe. And this is something from top down. The first day, if our president CEO is available, he teaches the first day. I gotta say, many corporations that have over 4,000 team members, you just see a picture on the wall of your president of your company. Ours is there teaching. He is our chief safety officer for so critical risk management. We've identified all of the risks, anything that's going to kill you or hurt you at that facility. We've identified them. We train on them when a visitor comes to the operation before they go to walk around. We ensure that they know what those critical risks are. Personal team and safety commitment. We've seen that with the safety commitment that we do on a daily basis. We do a root cause. If we have injury or if we have damage, we do a root cause on that. We drill all the way down to see what exactly happened, what caused that incident or injury, because we want to make sure we don't repeat things like that. Heat illness training. I recognize the fact, since I spend about half my time down here in Florida now, occasionally you toasty outside. When these guys, the thing you think about is the guys down in that ship hold when it's 95 degrees and 2,000% humidity and there's no airflow moving anywhere. We got to be cognizant of our team and they're down there. So Terry Blackner's been out. He's set up devices that measure exactly what our team members are feeling out there. We train on how to stay hydrated. We want team members, if they're starting to get too warm, take a break, to a cool spot, it's AC. We want to ask team members to take care of it before treatment and deal with it. 5S progress. I'll share that as we come up, and then we've updated all of our procedures for the location, and we've got a very robust training plan. So you can see here, since we came in the last year, we've had 0 lost time injuries. We've had 0 fatalities, and 0 moderate plus property damages. So anything over $5,000 is considered a moderate damage. We've had 0 over 5,000. You can see our morning meetings taking place here, and you can see the heat and illness testing training, or the monitor is set up, and then from that we train. Our CDL, we drive, we got some trucks that we run around and support our customers with. One thing I'm very, very proud of is 100% compliant with DQF, driver qualification files. That's a piece taking care of driver qualification files. Once again, we've got over 200 operations within our company. Many of those operations have truck drivers that have files that have to be kept up to speed and compliant with the DOT. We are one of the handful of operations within our organization that has 100% compliance. And we had 0 issues on our FMSCA scoreboard. So our guys in the trucking industry is doing a bang up job, and our manager, Craig Wood, is leading the charge.
But
Sure.
who attends your daily safety meeting?
All our team members.
All the team and the manager, everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these guys are at them every day, they can speak to that, but it's led by it's not always led by just our operations managers. Sometimes it's led by our team members, led by our supervisors, but each one of our locations, at the Port, Friendly Road, at Julie, there's a toolbox meeting every morning. And then there's a communication meeting every month that all team members attend. And if they're not able to attend, they're brought up to speed on what was discussed in that after. And that's a requirement of our S7.
And what are your teams? How do you name those teams? What are?
So we've got the Port, CTS Friendly Road, and Yulee.
Okay.
Whenever we came in, and Ray can kind of attest to this and make it mad at me because we done it. When we came in, there was the Port and then there was the warehouse. And it didn't always play real well together, but that fence has been broken down, and we're now sharing labor. And those team members all join into one morning meeting. They join into one communication meeting on a monthly basis.
Very good.
Yes, sir. So, master plan goal 12 is support sustainable and resilient waterfront development and working waterfront. So one of the things since we've been here, the stormwater permit was close to expiration. So Terry Bleckner and our environmental team went through the process, got all of this back into order. DEP's been on site numerous times without any cause or issue or concern. They've had a couple of recommendations, and as soon as they give us a recommendation, we mediate that. Typically do a little bit more than what they ask. And then we've also done the same thing with our CPS and our Julie properties as well. Other sustainability actions, we're currently working right now and exploring options to electrify our lift truck fleet. We feel like we've got a good opportunity in front of us right now. Perhaps a reach stacker may go into that mix. Our equipment teams right now getting pricing on what that would look like, and we're going to see if there's some funds out there that will assist us in being able to obtain that equipment. And then future sustainability assessment reports. We're looking into other options that would help us in an environmental to lessen our impact on the environment. That's one of our facilities in Kansas that we just completed a drainage facility, great influences. 5S initiatives, so what you'll see, most of these are at the dock, at warehouse and maintenance shop. And the goal from statement number 5 is take the necessary steps to ensure the resilience, support infrastructure, and improve sustainability of its facilities and operations. So we do this with 5S, and I'm sure quite a few people have heard about 5S. What 5S is, it's a way to make things orderly that are disorganized. So first of all, you sort the chaos, you straighten it, you shine it, you standardize it, and the toughest one is sustain. So you go home and you clean out your closet and you throw all the junk away, you get it looking really nice, you're like, I'm pretty proud of myself here. And then the kids come through and basketballs and the baseball gloves go in there. And a week later, you open up the closet, everything falls out. You missed it on the sustaining part. So I've got some examples here of this is our tool storage area, one of our tool storage areas and shops before and after. Our hose shop where the team member build hoses, store hoses. Compressor storage. And a lot of this was 30 years. People can become hoarders. People don't want to throw things away because that part probably cost $10 years ago. I don't want to throw it away. Well, the chances are you're probably never going to hang that part on anything. It's just going to sit there and stay cluttered.
Are those two rooms the same room?
Those are the same room.
But what's that on the right in the after picture?
That's a shipping container.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, so cleaned it up, things have gone inside, eliminated all the clutter inside the containers, clean. Maintenance shop, tool storage.
Mm.
So this is before, of course. And
Wow.
after.
The people that did that, can you send them to my house? My garage,
Yeah, they're saying.
my garage looks like the previous picture.
Yeah, I'm sorry, they're saying. Dock operations, tool storage area.
Wow.
This is where, whenever you say you gotta throw things away, this is part of, we had what we kept count of was $133,000 disposal fees whenever we come onto the property, we kind of clean it up.
Tell my wife that.
So this was one that the team was conducting their morning meetings in this room, and that's what it looked like when we got there.
Yeah, that one thing on the wall there, I'm glad you got rid of that.
The gator.
The gator, yeah.
Yes, that's what it looks like today.
All right.
The front.
Hmm.
Yeah, so one of the things that really proud of to share, so, statement number 9, both growth of sustainable jobs, economic activity for the businesses and residents in Nassau County, and also to improve OPA's continued service to the community and furtherance of its charter purposes for the benefit of citizens in Nassau County and the state of Florida. Some of the things that whenever you compare our benefits versus previous operators' benefits, some staggering numbers. If you look, so their health insurance for a single person was $262 a month. Today it's $57.
Wow.
For a family, $904. Today it's $318. We've got multiple programs to choose from. Those were cash dollars that went back into our team members' pockets. Dental from 25 to 11, family dental 99 to 34. Vision, there's the previous operator had a 50,000 life accidental death. We've got one time the team members is our we have long-term disability at no cost, 8 mental health sessions, a $500 HSA contribution. If our team members sign up for HSA, we throw $500 in there for them. Some of the voluntary that we have are or extended, accident life insurance, short-term disability, long-term, even life block, try to keep your stuff from the bad people getting it. And then financial benefits are 401k, we match up to 50% up to 8%, profit sharing at 3%. Those are, that wasn't something our team had before. Those were real dollars. We actually done better this last year. We had a good financial year as our company, and our number was actually 3.42%. Flex spending accounts, there's many there, and then some other programs is tobacco cessation. Our company will help with that, and then paid time off. So the team members didn't have anything like this. So we're right now, we hire a team member, they got 3 weeks paid vacation. Some of our team members that had 3 weeks went 5. That's pretty good upgrade. For our reservists, we got 10 days a year leave, active duty 1 year, pregnancy leave 6 weeks, and parental leave 2. So we've really enhanced our team member benefits since we had the opportunity to be a department. We've had some ebbs and flows, but most of our total overall head count reduction was through staffing. There was my first day when I was out there was 36 team members through staffing, and the second day there was 41. We do the same work today with a significant amount less of the temporary staff. Our team's just gotten extremely efficient and good at what they do. When we have vessels out there working, you just watch them and it's just like clockwork. Doing it except.
Heard all good things.
Oh, well, thank you. So back to team communication improvements and master plan goal statement number 1. This was behind the customs house, one of the old docks that occasionally they used to strip containers if needed. That's our morning meeting room now. That's where we're meeting at the dock, all of our team members there. And then after we meet, we have going to the house, they may be going to the dock, and they may be running out doing work in the yard. So we have small breakout sessions that are catered to exactly what they're doing that day. So they'll come out of the full meeting, they'll go into a quick breakout session, they'll do a quick chats, and off to work they go. And then in community involvement, goal statement number 4 to improve the level of communications operations between OPA and Fernandina Beach, including businesses and residents. So many of you have met Jeff Hymas, who's been out from our Salt Lake office. Jeff was good enough to go knock on the doors of the residents in Fernandina Beach, and the story district, had conversations with them, listened to their concerns. We acted on that. There was a where we got backed up in the truck. We heard the complaints. We started being engaged 30 minutes earlier than 7 to allow trucks onto the port to relieve that congestion. We spoke with all of our carriers that come, the ones that we can kind of help control. Got them the right address to give to their dispatchers so they knew where they was going, what the route was. And today it seems much less chaotic than it was once in the past. So we're working very hard to do that. And then, we've been doing some donations within the community. We get the Boy Scouts up here a little bit, and then we've got the pickleball for St. Michael's Academy here coming up that we're sponsoring. And we're looking for more opportunities there as well. And then just an overview. So Nassau Terminals LLC is the port operator, the Port of Fernandina, operated by transportation infrastructure partners, with Savage being the operator or the operating partner. We want to build a local presence and a brand within a community. One of the things here, we intend to use the Nassau terminal in lieu of worldwide terminals going forward as much as we possibly can. You will still see Savage in there. Our team members are Savage, I'm Savage, our systems are Savage, as you've seen. But what we will do is we'll start to brand more towards these two that you see down here, either Nassau Terminal or Nassau Marine Terminals. We're really leaning toward Nassau Marine Terminal because of our North Carolina terminal is Carolina Marine Terminal. So those two kind of align on one website to where whenever potential customers are looking for a port to bring their product through, whenever they hit us, they get both of them and they're branded distinct for the Florida and the Carolina Marine Terminal. And Summers Island, our long-run customer in Florida. Yep. Questions?
I was a lot young. Seems like a great place to.
It's great working. It's so great to see the progress the team made over the last year. The acceptance of us, our ways, because we've got a system, and like I say, it works. And I've had operations that I've started up to where we don't get the same open arms when I walk in and say, we have a great system, we'd like you to use it. Sometimes it's a little tougher than others, but I'm telling you, this team was ready for some change. They knew they needed a safer workplace, and we wanted to provide that. We knew we wanted to compensate them better and make their lives better and their lives better. And we was able to get that for a benefit back. So we're excited to be there, and we're excited for what we have in store in the future.
All the employees I've talked to that work there say they wouldn't work anywhere else. They love it.
Yes, good to hear.
Yeah.
Very good. I just remembered, it seems like there's one, unfortunately. Which one is?
That one. Keep going. Right there, 2022, 2020.
Down there?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, this is a letter that was, do you remember how you made that full screen? I'm sorry. Geez.
I think it is in full screen.
Is it?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. I can kind of get the high points for them, please. So this is our annual maintenance report that's required by the operating agreement that we submit each year. So basically, it's the maintenance structure of pieces of equipment out there and what maintenance was done and the expense that was associated with that. So just quickly, I'll hit a couple of them. So warehouse fire protection in warehouse number one, there was $2,000. Number two, $7,800. Some of the bigger ones is the cranes, the crane 9, we spent $42,000 on last year. Crane 10, $36,000. The LeBaron mobile harbor crane, $20,000. Ottawa's $70,000. Tug, $24,000. But the total was $241,000 last year on the major closeout.
So is that what you expect, or how does that compare to what you
There was for maintenance, and there still is catching up to do out there, for sure. So we're investing wise dollars. I'd like to say that we're proactive and ahead of them, but some of them we're reactive on still. We've got our major plants maintenance system working for us right now, and that helps us identify all of the maintenance that we need to do and on a frequency when it needs to be done. And so as that starts working along more, and as we invest more of that equipment, will just get better and better as we go. We're a little bit more than what we expected, but we've done extensive third party, well, people come in and assess the equipment. We kind of had an idea what we had going in, but first year it was pretty good to spend on some of the equipment.
This is since you took over,
Yes, sir, this is last year,
22 and 23.
July to July.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how much fear have we expended out of our maintenance account this last year? Is that in our year-to-date report? That's in the meantime?
We did not call.
I don't
any
think,
dollars at this point.
We expect any of the last,
We have to have that as a separate.
the tug, the maintenance account, but that was, so they only put 60,000 in there a year. So there's 100,000, so there's more than a year's worth of money in there. So that tug was, yeah, when we did the repair for the tug, that was at least 18 months ago.
And that would more than likely be the next call on that account when the tug goes in dry dock.
Question? But just a comment, on your presentation overall, the way you kind of pinpointed some of the priorities of the master plan shows your commitment, your team's commitment to the plan's success. So appreciate that. You've made some significant improvements, overall, certainly taking care, very well, taking care of the team. And then even all of your efforts in the community and the things that we hear, we're seeing with how accessible and open you are, certainly is a breath of fresh air, and we appreciate that, and I certainly value that partnership.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's easy to do when you got great people out there helping.
That was by the report again today, and I've got to say, it just gets better and better. I mean, got a lot of plywood.
Oh, yeah, yeah, we just got that
But
best.
everything is clean and organized. It's, we can definitely see the improvement.
We look at it as an elephant, one bite at a time. Anything else?
Thank you, Bud.
Thank you very much.
We had to ask for a, some sort of financial summary of the transaction. Is that something that you had accepted in the packet? I think the board had requested some of the financials, so we would have a sense of the transaction and whether or not as the issuer of the conduit bonds, if we would consent to that. So I think we did talk about that in the last meeting.
And I think that was 2 ago, but Peter pointed out that's online with the bonds, and the rest of the transaction proprietary.
Okay, so the indenture did require us to have an advance notice of the transaction, and then we also consent if we didn't do.
And I would have to defer to our council on that, because I feel like that we have on a couple different occasions touched that point, the way that the transaction was made, it was not required to have the notification to open. But that's a little bit out of my world.
I just wanted to make sure we closed the loop, because I know we brought it up the last meeting. But I don't want to take away from what I think was a spectacular presentation. And the before and after pictures are amazing, and your investment and credit to the team is inspiring what you're doing, and it's really well. So I don't want to take anything away from that, just by being sticker about
Rich, great presentation. We appreciate it. Yeah,
If I may, sir, we talked a little bit about that with the bond folks, and there's certain reporting that goes directly to the trustees, so they can follow up with a number of requests of the trustee, including related to the fee. So there should be some information you can get that way as well.
all right, let's move on. Old business, Customs and Border and Tech Center. Dave, would you have some information about both of those items? Would you do that?
Certainly, as we all know, Customs House has been an issue for OPA and CBP for many, many years. We thought we had a potential solution for them as we began the master planning effort by incorporating their facility into what was envisioned as a multi-purpose building. That concept went away, we did away with the cruise opportunity. And so the current agreement we have with Customs for the Customs House is a lease agreement that expires in April of next year. That will be the end of all the renewal periods, so we will talk through those. I had a very nice, good conversation with Director Bradshaw about a week and a half ago, expressing our desire to have a joint meeting with Customs to look at what options are before us to make sure that they're able to continue to provide service at the Port of Medina. She was very open to that, wanted to do some additional research on her end for to agree to a meeting time, make sure she was well prepared as one of their always to be. And so we're just waiting now for that line in place. So we have to review with them kind of around what potential options are, the costs and benefits of each one, challenges, and agree hopefully on a path forward together. So that's ongoing. As soon as I hear back from them, I will pass that on to that. Excellent. At least as I mentioned in my report, at least was approved by the city at the last meeting. We're in the process of moving into that space, getting it organized, and I think it's going to be a good one for it.
There was an air conditioning problem.
At Customs House.
Customs House.
Yeah, so,
Has anything been done about that?
so
Yes.
Oh, you're gonna report about that? Okay,
Yes.
all right. All right. Anything else, Dave?
that's all.
All right, new business, real estate RFP candidates. Dave?
So, Mr. Chairman, if I might, at our May meeting, Commission authorizes to go forward with advertising.
Mobile data is
RFP.
turned off. You'll have to connect to a Wi-Fi network first.
Authorizes to go out with an RFP for real estate advisory and brokerage services as it related to the non-industrial parcels that we own. And so we issued that RFP. We did some pretty aggressive advertising, both not only on our site, but also Demand Star, that's a new platform for us. But we also sent direct emails out to all members of the Island Board of Realtors, and follow that up a week before the proposals were due with a reminder. We ended up with what I consider 6 very good proposals. It is my recommendation that we form a review and selection committee to go through each of those proposals, shortlist, and interview, and then come back with some recommendation to this board, perhaps at the August meeting. My recommendation is that that committee be made of myself, Patrick, and one of you commissioners. That way the commission has direct engagement in that process, but we don't have to have those meetings, particularly when we meet with the brokers individually. Hopefully, those do not have to be public meetings. So that we would do the work, come back with a ranking or a recommendation. and then allow the commission to take whatever action.
So what the committee will do is meet with each individual.
Well, I think what my recommendation would be that each member of the committee would do their own individual review of the proposals based on the advertisement that we submitted. And then we will discuss amongst ourselves whether or not there's a break point between all six or not, and whether we feel like we need to interview all six, or whether we want to interview some short list of that six. And then come back with
I
it.
think Patrick has another.
So when you set up a review committee like this, what you can't do is make any type of final decision. So you can't eliminate anyone. You can make recommendations, you can rank, but you can't start with 10 and then bring 5 back to this board. You have to bring all 10 back. Because eliminating 5 is a final decision that's not made in sunshine and so forth and so on. So you can convene a committee. I do know that has more than one commissioner on the committee. Any meeting of that committee is a public meeting, which would have to be noticed and held, just like we do these. If you do a combination of one elected official, one commissioner, and a mix of staff, whether it's myself, Dave, Pierre, or then whomever it is, those aren't required because there's only one elected official. Those aren't required to be public meetings. You can invite the public, you can hold it however you want, but I just want to make sure that the work of the committee will be a recommendation and cannot include any type of final decision, whether that's an elimination or a promotion.
I think the best way to do that is the way we hired our office manager, interview each person on the team, interview each one, and then rank them. And then come back to the commission with your ranking of those individuals, and then the commission would make a determination of who they wanted to hire.
But that process was designed to accommodate the full board participating, so that's what's gonna be done, and also the full board could participate. Could the full board just participate if that's what we're gonna
Well,
do? Since all of the candidates have to come back to the full board anyway.
no, I don't want to do it that way. I don't think that's the best way to do it. I think we could do it just like we did with the office manager, interview each one and let the committee come back with a recommendation. If we wanted to interview any of those people, then we can bring them back and do that. Because there are some, I've seen them, and some of them are good and some of them aren't. I think a ranking would help us to eliminate that and spend so much time at a meeting, a public meeting doing that.
Well,
That's up to you though.
so the interviews were at Pierre's office. And it was open, it was advertised in case members of the public wanted to come, right?
No,
No, okay, so that went.
because the commissioners didn't group together to interview. It was separate interviews.
Right.
So it was not and we didn't discuss anything.
So if we followed that same model that you're
Yeah.
talking about, then it wouldn't require a public meeting.
No, it wouldn't.
Okay, so why don't we do that?
Well,
All the commissioners.
we could do that.
I mean, I would like to participate. I don't know if anybody else has any interest, but I wouldn't want to prevent someone else from participating.
We could set a time for each of them to come in. And each of us to come in to interview them. Which means they'd have 5 interviews
Mhm.
from each one of us. We could do that at our office complex now. We've got a room back there that we can meet in, so if you want to do it that way, we can do it that way, if y'all want to spend the time to do that. You're not obligated to come in and meet, but we can set it up that way.
No, I agree. I think that, I mean, I know I would like to participate, so it's, just going through the process. I think that would work for me. I think that's a fair way to do it. So yeah, I don't disagree.
Okay,
I have no problem with it.
all right, we'll set it up and figure out a good plan to do it, and hopefully we can come back next month with it. If we can't get it done by then, we'll move it out a little longer, but not real pressing. I wouldn't assume. But I'd like to have some information soon. So we'll set it up. I'll get Rosanna to start working on it.
Question,
Yes,
can the board give me a date? For when you want those interviews?
Um. You want to give more than one date, so in case,
I think we need to, just in case, make sure that the firms are now on those days.
and commissioners are available on that day too,
And a time frame too.
in the time frame.
Six firms, probably talking
That'll be all day.
that's at
Yeah,
least-
it's gonna be an all
Hour
day
at
thing,
least.
I guarantee you, or half a day, yeah.
Because I have to stagger them, right?
Yeah. I'll get email,
Or you do a doodle poll, you should do like a poll.
Right now.
No,
no,
like send an email with a doodle poll.
Okay.
Here are
The
6
days,
days
yeah.
and times. Who can do it?
when can you
Okay.
meet?
You know,
Yeah. She'll get it out to you and we'll get it figured out, okay?
If you can do the mile. So you can do all 60 things for all. Get plenty of offices.
Yeah, we could do that, go back to his office, because we got 6 different places or 5 different places we can meet and have them all done the same day, if we can all
Same
meet at
time.
the same day, and same time,
Round,
do a round robin thing.
much faster.
So you spend 15 minutes with one commissioner, 15 minutes with another commissioner, all on the same day and in the same place.
And just different.
That's like we did with the office now.
Open on any given day.
Go ahead.
I just want to make sure when you're doing this, you're not sharing any information,
No.
you're not sharing any rankings, you're
Right.
not talking about it. What did you think about this person? None of that can happen. This is in a silo. You're doing it individually. Any notes you make will be your personal notes. If you share them later, they will be public records. So if you come to a commission meeting and you say, look, here I ranked everybody, I'm going to share this with everybody, that's a public record. You sit there and you make your own personal notes for your own personal evaluation. Those are your documents, but you cannot talk amongst each other about this until you reconvene in a public meeting, including your rankings.
Yeah, you can't tell how you rank anybody until the public meeting.
Okay, and Rosanna, you shared everything in Dropbox,
Yes,
candidate submissions, and we are not supposed to talk to any of the candidates until the interview, or how's that work?
Correct.
All right. Got it?
But also, you have the opportunity to have it tonight.
Yeah.
Have a conversation with them tomorrow.
Absolutely. All right, that's all the old business, new business, get started. Workman's comp, how do we want to handle that? Any suggestions from?
I think we were gonna look to see if we can start the policy in October.
While you're waiting on a quote, I'll
Wait, I'll-
I'll reach out to the state and ask about start date.
All right. What's the one, property coverage? What is?
That was not my,
I'm assuming that's the insurance.
that was brought up when the workman's comp came up, and we came to find out that the port operator covers all the port assets, but since we have the PEC Center office, is that gonna need coverage?
If you're leasing
For-
it, if you're leasing it, all you would need, if you want, would be some type of renter's coverage for whatever you have in it.
Oh,
You don't need property coverage.
I
It's
think all
not.
we need to do is transfer the address from license room to back.
Yeah.
Maintain the same.
all right.
That's it. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, I did something a little different this meeting, instead of having the list of all the commissioners and their committees, I'm gonna do commissioner reports and comments, any comments you wanna make about anything. So we'll start, you know what your committees are, so I'll just, every meeting we have, I'm gonna try this, every meeting we have, I'll just call on each individual commissioner to do a report and comments. Justin, would you like to start?
Sure, great meeting with the city, today. Also just, thinking of the city and the organization Light Up Amelia, last week on the 4th of July, did a wonderful, celebration, downtown here, downtown, fireworks display and everything. So, kudos to them and their hard work, both the city of Virginia Beach and Light Amelia, for their efforts. They did a great job.
So, yeah. All right, Ray?
On the customs with the central unit that we had Masons go in there at the end of last month. And they found that there was a heavy leak in the unit. So they tried to make it last a little bit longer, which failed with the temperatures that we're experiencing during the day. Savage had the maintenance folks go and put some units in the windows temporarily. I was working with Stan Harrington. I talked to him today. The unit will be replaced tomorrow. Gateway Mechanical will be there in the morning to remove and replace that unit. With that being said, I had a chance to talk to Steve Parrott today about the IT situation, where they're going with that. Everything seems to be resolved with that in its final stages, with the exception of the contractor telling him what day he'll be there, but it's narrowing down. The inspection on the tug, it looks like probably the second week of August. In my opinion, that's pushing it a little bit close to the drop dead date. I don't think that they should wait to go in that late, but that'll be up to the captain and Savage on that one. The estimated cost that was reported to me is going to be somewhere around $150,000. So hopefully we can come in a little bit less than that. That's if they don't find any issues with the whole vessel. So we'll monitor that. The number 9 Liebherr container crane. The maintenance crew continues to work on the spreader issue. They do have it scheduled for the replacement of storm brake directional valve that operates brakes. Once that's done, it looks like the crane will be situated for a certification sometime in August. So that'll be good news. That crane will be fully back online. The Liebherr container crane number 10, according to maintenance, has no issues. The Liebherr mobile harbor crane has no issues, but I was informed that they are starting tire replacements on that one. I think that one has multiple tires, somewhere up around 60 tires. They've already started their rotation out on that to replace those tires. The OPA trucks, 619 through 624. I was told today that they're all operational with no issues. We still got a sticking point with number 3 warehouse. There's patches upon patches upon patches. At some point in time, to no one's liking, we're going to have to address that issue. The rail dock canopy, no action has been taken. It looks like it's just in limbo. To me, that's a problem, because when the rains come, the rail dock gets wet. You've got machines running out there. It's a recipe for an accident. That concrete is very slick, and those hard rubber tires running on it, it's like ice. So we need to look into that. Outside of that, that is the report.
All right, Mike?
Don't have really anything to report except that T-bill will not be meeting tomorrow. They're canceling for July. On the schedule. Nothing else with the economic development board or anything.
Mary?
So I'll touch on the Economic Development Board only because I spoke with 2 of the board members, and they had very positive comments about Commissioner Cole and his leadership on that board. So kudos to you. As far as the we'll talk good things about you from that. Next August, is it the 10th? Regina Duncan will be speaking, coming and giving a presentation at our board meeting.
Okay. Anyone else? All right, hearing none, this meeting is adjourned.